Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm 𝓜𝓲𝓬𝓱𝓮. I'm an intuitive, a psychic, medium, a channel, and I'm also a mentor. So in today's episode, we're going to explore a very rich, pretty sacred and empowering practice that I hold pretty close to my heart, and that's automatic writing. So whether you're just beginning in your spiritual journey or you're trying to deepen your intuitive path, automatic writing is a very gentle, but it's a very powerful way to connect with your higher self. Also, you can connect to your guides or the angelic realm. And it's a way of bypassing the busy thinking mind to help receive profound messages or guidance. So I'll be sharing what automatic writing actually is and how to recognize when it's a message from spirit and not just your own thoughts, and some practical tips that help you prepare for a session. And then after that, I'm going to turn off the camera. You'll see a few bubbles come up on the screen, and I'm going to share a meditation. So it's a 10-minute meditation just to help you get into the right zone, and then you can actually have a practice and have a go at doing some automatic writing of your own. And then I'm just going to finish up with some examples of the kind of messages that I get from the Archangel realm. Okay, so just starting with what is automatic writing. So automatic writing is just allowing intuitive or channeled messages to flow through you and onto the page. And that means that you're not doing this consciously and you're not deciding what to write. So it can feel like thoughts that are arriving from outside of yourself, and they're quite insightful and wise and sometimes even quite surprising. So some people can connect to their higher self, and others use it to connect with spirit guides. You can also use it to connect with your loved ones in spirit and the angelic realm as well. And that's how I communicate with the angelic realm. So it's not about using neat handwriting or perfect words. It's about just receiving and then trusting that flow. So just a few things about automatic writing. Anybody can learn it. So you don't need to be a psychic to start using automatic writing. It's like meditation or intuitive development. It's a skill that you can definitely practice and strengthen. So it just requires a little bit of patience and a little bit of trust. So, give it a try. Try it more than once. You may not get the results that you're looking for straight away. And it's something that you also stay in control of. So, you're not in trance or possessed or anything like that. You're grounded, you're conscious. It's just getting into a meditative state of mind where you're being very receptive and therefore able to be in an intuitive state. So messages can also come from various sources, as I mentioned, so different areas of universal consciousness. So it's really important to set your intent. So we will set an intention for going into the meditation, and also just having energetic boundaries. So it can help determine what you're actually going to be connecting with. So, that's an important piece to remember. It is a way to help build your trust and intuition. So it often delivers for clarity and guidance and some healing as well. And it becomes easier to distinguish between your intuitive mind and your mental chatter over time. I like writing things down in a journal because that way I can look back and see where I got hits, particularly if I'm getting information that's at a global level, then that's something that I can definitely check up on. It's also deeply personal. So whatever comes through will be unique to you. Yeah, the tone and the language will kind of evolve more as you practice. So some tips. So what can I suggest to help with a successful writing session? Being in a good space, being in a peaceful place is a really great place to start. A meditation will help bring you to that place if you're not quite there at that point. But definitely don't go into this if you're not in a great state of mind, or if you're in a down or depressed state of mind. It's really not a good place to start from. So just deciding who and what you're connecting with, I'd suggest starting with your higher self, which is just an aspect of yourself which is outside of the energetic body, which lies within your physical body, and it's able to give you guidance and has from a higher plane, is a simple way of putting it. So also have a question in mind. So you might want to write that down at the top of your page before you start. And some common questions are, what do I need to know right now? How do I move forward in peace? Or what message needs to come through for me? And then writing by hand. So you can also use a computer, or I sometimes dictate into a phone as well, which is not writing, so to speak, but it's kind of that next step. Pen and paper is a more direct connection with your body and energy, so your hand can move freely, even if the words don't make any sense at first. So don't be concerned. Don't try and censor. So not judging or editing. Just let whatever comes come, and you can read and reflect it later and treat it as if you're going to tear it up. It's just an exercise. So it's not about trying to let your mind create something, a beautiful text. Just the more you can move your consciousness aside and allow something to just happen, the better. And you might get, a squiggle, or you might get a phrase, or, a prose, or goodness, write a book. Who knows? Let's delve in and see how it works for you. So yeah, just stay open to whatever you get. Like anything, kind of building that muscle, just practice. And the more you practice, the more fluid it becomes, and also, the better the connection. So you can end up getting quite profound messages. So what's the best way to kind of move your consciousness aside? Or what people will say to me quite often is, how do I know it's not just my own mind? And so here's a few tips that will help. So stilling your mind, first of all, that's where the meditation comes in. So listen to the 10-minute meditation, pause at the end, and do your writing. The quieter become, the more clearly you're going to receive. Set the intention. So we're going to do that before the meditation. Include in that who you want to connect with, and what you're asking. Write everything you get, and write quickly. So the less you think, the more you're allowing those messages to come through. Also, just keeping your ego out of it. Just let the words happen. Don't try and, oh, that's not very profound. I would like it to be more profound, and put a few more words in. Don't judge it either. So don't, or try and make sense of it. Just try the exercise, putting your ego aside, and see what's coming through. So when you're actually in the process of doing this, what's some ways that you can tell this is my mind and this is channeled messages? So there are a few things that I can share with you that can help you differentiate. Channel messages can come through in a different voice, or they may hold a different energy. When I channel the Archangels, I can actually feel the energy in my body, and so it's quite distinctly different. And so the inner voice is a little bit different to your own voice, or your own usual inner dialogue, which is often like a monologue, right? You also get language, phrasing, words that you would never normally use. Just one example that comes to mind for me, and one of the channel messages I had was 𝓜𝓲𝓬𝓱𝓮𝓵𝓵 and folly. Follies are quite an old word. I would use silliness perhaps, or something along those lines, but 𝓜𝓲𝓬𝓭 was a word that I wasn't familiar with and had to look up. Some of those words now I just trust they fit. Whenever I look them up, they just fit exactly where they're meant to, and they make sense, but they're not words that I have, that I use in my vocabulary, or that I'm aware of to put into a sentence structure. So that also makes it pretty obvious to me. Also, it can feel really calm, and it just has a sense of flow. And like I say, I can often feel the energy that comes with that. And the content will often surprise you. I know what I get completely surprises me, even as I'm writing, like, oh, that's what we're talking about. And it can bring, wisdom, reassurance. And what I get with the Archangels often is a lot of truths as well, truths for mankind, which is always a little bit eye-opening for me, and a sense of knowing. So you can just get this kind of clarity or peace around that as well. In general, the intuition feels calm, clear, and it's usually very neutral. Whereas when it's your own thoughts, it can feel very rushed, a little bit doubtful, perhaps overanalyzed. The automatic writing, the intuition, also arrives very quickly and often without any explanation. Whereas your own thoughts kind of linger and often loop. You'll think the same thought often more than once. Where with intuition, with myself, I also get clairvoyance attached to the energy that comes through with the words. So I'll see images that go with that. But that is, I am, work in intuitive fields, so that's not going to happen for everybody, but may happen. So there's that peace and emotional relaxation that comes with intuition and with your own thoughts. Like most of our thoughts are quite anxious, or they are tense or uncertain, so it won't feel like that. So if you do feel like that, it's probably not your intuition. Also, intuition, it can really surprise you with how profound it is. Like, oh, yes. And it's usually, if I can think of my higher self rather than the angelic realm, you are on the right track, or things will work out in their own time, or it's kind of wise and just, chill a bit. That kind of thing comes through quite often. Whereas your mind will think things like, you really need to get onto this, you're getting left behind, or things like that. They're often quite self-critical in comparison. So if at the end of the meditation, when you have a look at what you've written, if it makes you pause and say, wow, I didn't expect that, then you're probably on the right track. So I'm going to start the 10-minute meditation shortly. So get your pieces of paper ready. Let's get into a place of relaxation. So we're going to set an intention just to connect with our higher selves. So we're just going to ask for protection around this practice and ask our higher self for some wisdom and to bring through some clear and concise information to assist us with our automatic writing, for some clear guidance, asking, what do I need to know right now? So just sit back and relax and enjoy this. It's about 7 minutes, but 7 to 10-minute meditation, and I'll see you on the other side. If you're in a situation where you need to stay focused, maybe hit pause on this and play it at a later time, so that you can really make the most out of the meditation. So just make sure that you are seated comfortably, and just have your journal and your pen nearby. You might want to just wait until you're prepared and then hit play on this video, and at the end of the meditation, just pause it so that you can stop and do your reflection. It might pay to have some background music going just to help keep that sense of calm after the meditation. So just closing your eyes and gently bringing your focus to your breath. And just take a long, slow breath in through your nose and hold it for a moment. Just exhaling softly through your mouth. Just letting your shoulders drop and your jaw relax, your forehead relax. And let's do that again. Just inhaling, just breath in. Just hold it there. And exhale slowly. Just letting any tension drain out of your body. So you're in a state of full relaxation. Now bring your awareness down your body, through your torso, pelvis, legs, to your feet. And imagining roots just growing from the soles of your feet, reaching down through the floor and into the earth below. And just see them anchoring deep into the earth's center. holding you safe and solid and supported. And with each breath you take, just feeling this grounding energy rising gently up through your legs, your hips, your abdomen, and into your heart space. And here you are held, and you are supported, and you are safe to receive. Now just bringing your awareness to the center of your chest, to your heart, and just visualize a soft golden or a green light here, just glowing warmly within your chest. And with each breath, just feeling it expand and filling your chest, your shoulders, your arms. And this is the space of trust and truth. And this is where your inner wisdom lies. And just saying softly to yourself in your mind, I trust the words that flow from my heart. I allow my higher self to guide me now. And just letting this light grow brighter. And allow yourself to relax further into this energy of calm connection. Now gently shift your focus to the area between your eyebrows, your third eye, your intuitive center. And just imagining a soft violet or an indigo light which is glowing brightly here. And with every breath in, see it growing more vivid and more awake. And this is where your inner vision lives. This is where you receive guidance from your higher self and from spirit. And just notice any tingles, any warmth or images that arise. There's no need to force this. Just remain open. Now just imagine this light, and it's gently connecting with your heart. So two lights, your heart and your intuition, just merging as one. And let them move in harmony, creating a clear channel within you. And silently repeat, I open to receive. I release control. I trust what flows. Now just visualizing a blank white page in front of you. And this page is ready to receive. And there's no pressure. There's only curiosity. Just let any thoughts drift past like clouds. Each breath clears a little more space for clarity, for flow, for presence. If the mind wanders, gently bring it back to the rhythm of your breath. Inhale. Exhale. And space, stillness, openness. You are calm. You are connected. You are ready. And slowly bring your awareness back to your breath, back to the room, back to your body. Just wriggling your fingers and toes, just noticing your breath and its pattern. And when you're ready, pick up your pen, place it gently on the page, and write your first words. And you might want to begin with, what message is ready to come through? Or what do I need to hear right now? Or how can I best support myself today? And just let the words flow. You're not writing alone, you're writing in connection. So just pause this video and allow the words to come. And I'll see you on the other side. So I hope you enjoyed that meditation and that you were able to get something out just after you've set your mind aside. If not, just leave it, have another go, don't give up. Or, at a moment when you're feeling pretty relaxed, maybe just start writing and see what comes through. It may take a couple of times, but if you can master it, it's a really fantastic way to help with decision making, understanding relationships in your life, getting guidance. Maybe you've got a new job and you're not sure whether to go for that or not. So, things like that, it can be really useful, and things can come up that were unexpected that you hadn't thought. So my experience with the archangels was a little bit different. I actually had a vision or a dream that I was going to be channeling the archangels, and it wasn't until some time later that this actually occurred. And it occurred while I was just relaxing during a meditation. I had a white light and a very powerful presence. And I knew that I needed to get to start some writing, and that was Gabrielle that came through. So they have a very distinctive tone when it's the archangels, and it can be quite instructive, or it can be quite powerful. It is supportive. The messages are supportive, but it can also kind of point out shortcomings, particularly with humankind in general. And it has been specific to a couple of events that have happened. I am a person I'm a world empath as well. So I'm a news empath. So I don't really watch news. So things come up that I'm not always aware of. But I was aware of the LA files, but there was information that came through about that. I've been learning about the archangels as I go. And Chemuel came through. And the reason I know it was Chemuel is because I get the name Chemuel. And then I look up, is there an Archangel Chemuel? Yes. So then I dictated the message. So this one came through very soft and gently with a lot of pink energy. I could feel it, see it as I was channeling, and it honestly felt really beautiful. The archangels tell me that there is an energy that's carried. So me dictating this message to you, you'll be able to pick up something vibrationally from this message as well, even though I'm not channeling it directly verbally. So this is the message, and then I want to tell you a little bit about what happened after this. So the message is, I come to you softly and gently, upon and surrounded by a pink ray. This is yours to connect to absorb. It is a ray of softness and gentleness and self-love, to fill your being and heart with compassion and kindness and forgiveness to self. That which once experienced internally can then spill and shine externally, a flow and energy for others to detect, imperceptible in nature and yet there and infiltrating nonetheless. Care and compassion for all, beginning with thoughts and considerations to oneself. Call on me to enter and infuse your being with warmth and kindnesses. Close your eyes and drink in the warmth and comfort of it, embracing and softening you. The defenses and edges giving way, and the breath deepening at the delight, the melting. Enhance your experience in everyday life, beginning with kindnesses to self and expanding to others. Watch the changes in the dynamics surrounding you, the shifts, not as subtle as the initial softening. Kindness to self, to others, to earth, to the universe required, igniting and impactful. Once having been infused, then in turn infusing. Operate from this place of peace, and change will be upon you in your physical reality. Bless and be blessed always, Chemuel. So that has been my most beautiful message I've had from the archangels. So I actually recorded this yesterday, and then for some reason the formatting was off. And today I thought, you know what, I better actually look up Chemuel. So I looked up Chemuel. Let me just find that. Archangel Chemuel. And Archangel Chemuel is often associated with love relationships and lost items. And he is seen as a powerful guide for those seeking love, healing from relationship trauma, and fostering peace in their lives. Chemuel is associated with the pink ray. So as you can imagine, I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what I got, pink ray. And I was like, pink ray, but I just put pink ray. So you can't, I don't know, what's that saying? You can't write a book about it or whatever. It's things like that happen that are too big. They're not coincidences. We call it synchronicity. So that was my experience with Chamuel. And then I also want to share, so these were both channelings that I had during this last week. I also had one from Gabrielle. So this was a completely different tone. Let me just find it. There was, I did have the beginnings of a message, and I must have got interrupted. So I can tell you the beginning of this one from Gabrielle, and I just didn't get finished. Maybe my phone rang or something like that. So Gabriel speaks a financial ruling, chaos surrounding and encroaching, spreading insidiously, leaving no stone unturned, instigated and created by a solitary source. He stands for his and his own consequences are far-reaching, and then it comes to an end. So to me, that's a particular situation that's just happened recently. And then just one more recent one from Gabrielle. This one is just to show you how there can be just such a different tone. So Gabrielle has a message. Humankind, what folly are you harboring in your midst, allowing it to grow, fester, and create misfortune and illness amongst you? Why, people of earth, is each man and together the collective not speaking out, shutting down and saying nay? Nay to chemicals, to harm, to waste, to toxins, to ill practice, unsustainability and weakness, not being able to be upheld under scrutiny. Scrutinize you must, question you must. Why this cropping? Why this harm? Why these toxins? Why are we strangling that which feeds us? Elimination is required. Elimination of bad practice, of unsustainability. If you care not for your own well-being, then care for that of your children from your loins, brought here to share in abundance and pleasure and growth, not to suffer and lack and poison, diminished, afraid, and exiled from that which nourishes them. Banish all that is not supporting, not maintaining, not improving you and yours to come. The time is nigh for your action. I call you forward, as the trumpeter calls upon the troops. Remember who you are, what you stand for. Be not weak and uncaring. Join forces and march. Victory will be yours. Step by step, you will banish all that serves you not. Blessings. So that's an example of different language structure. Nay. Nay, I mean, that's very old. That's not saying no, children from your loins. So I quite enjoy reading what comes through, and I just feel like I'm gone back to the medieval times or something like that. So there's just a couple of examples. I do have examples of communicating with my higher self as well. I actually don't do that very often, but I have very strong intuition. So it would be something like the lines of you're on the right track, 2 to 3 months, things will change, surround the situation in love, that kind of thing. That's some of those examples. So anyway, I would be interested to hear how anyone got on. If you're willing to put something in the comments, I'd love to read them. I'm dead curious, and certainly hope that some of you were able to express something from your higher self, something useful that you can use in the future. So I look forward to seeing you during the next episode. So until then, keep your heart open, your pen moving, and your spirit curious. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on what's coming next. I'll see you soon.